Hello and welcome. I want to show a real quick video on MindTap because one of the things that I have noticed is that the difference between students who do really well and students who struggle is MindTap. It's a great platform, but it can also be kind of finicky. And I'm in Safari. I'm going to show you what I mean because for some reason my Safari, even with pop-ups allowed, I can't launch a video. But before we get into that, I want to show you kind of the idea of MindTap. So, sorry I can't really make this too much bigger, but MindTap kind of breaks down into three things. They have a Learn It module, or Learn It section, a Study It, and finally an Apply It. Okay. So now, this is kind of what I try to cover in a lecture. I want to give you the idea of why we're doing it. That's to Learn It. Now, I have included the most of the Learn It videos, and often there just be like a talking head video, a person saying, "Hey, this is why descriptive analytics, blah blah blah. This is why we do that." There's no points for these. Okay. Then the Study It. These are often like book questions. So think of this as the syllabus quiz. They're relatively easy questions. There's an AI module there to help you. There's a check my work. You can take it multiple times. And these are, not a ton of points. But my philosophy is that anything that you do, especially in MindTap, you should try to get points for it. So I really do try to give you points for everything I can, even if it's just low-hanging fruit, the Study It. And this basically kind of just reaffirms the basic foundational ideas. Hey, numbers you can add. 1 plus 1 you can add. True or false? True. A plus B you can't really add. True. So stuff like that. And then the Apply It is more of the Excel work. So this is where most of the students have problems. Issues. And so a couple of things that I made different this semester is I allowed a little bit of variance on it. So if you entered, in the past, if you entered 89.76 and the answer was 89.75, this is a correct. Sorry about my writing, correct. And then this was incorrect. Incorrect. It would not allow you to enter this. It would say, nope, too bad. Well, MindTap now allows me to control 1% variance, okay? So as long as you're within 1% of the correct answer, it will mark it right, which I think will help. So that will help with the Excel. But let's dive into the Excel. That's really what I want to show you. And the two parts I'm going to show you on here is kind of how to get to it from the modules inside Canvas, Web Campus, and B, how to do it inside of MindTap. Okay? So let's dig in a little bit. So again, this is Safari, and it's important that I kind of show you Safari because I know a lot of students use Macs and have problems. So this is Safari. I'm just going to hit Modules right here. And there's this link right here. And there's also, whenever each week opens, you can see all these weeks here. Okay? So Apply It is it should be down at the end, but the way it imports isn't. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to click right here to show you this, because I think this is important. And then I click right here, and it takes me right to the assignment. Now, real quick on MindTap, your menu might look a little different, but you have some neat little features here. You have the book, which you can highlight in. You can take notes on things. You can access Office. Every student at UNLV gets a Microsoft Office. You can talk to OIT, or I believe I have like a how to get it on the intro. If not, I can help you, or I can point you in the right direction. Adaptive test prep, these are like questions. I wouldn't worry about this because I want you to do Excel. I don't want you to get a bunch of tests on Excel. Flashcards, things like this. I think this is where your grades would show up. I can't do this because it shows all the students' grades. So I'm looking at this. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I'm sorry again, it's so small. Oh, this is difficult. How do I do? Oh my God, what do I do here? Okay, oh, look, there's a video right here. So I click on it. Well, nothing happens. Well, this is some BS. Well, let me make sure that's a good web page. I click on it. That downloads. And I can even, if you know about Macs, you can go right here and turn on allow pop-ups. Pop-ups are allowed. So it's just a bug. So let me switch over to the Windows side, or to Chrome, I should say, not necessarily to Windows. Give me 1 second here. Close this out. So now we're in Google Chrome. And like I said, Firefox works. It just, if you have problems, sometimes you got to try a little different browser. And I'm sorry about that. I didn't code this out, but it just is the way it is. So I'm going to go back down here to, I think we were on bar chart activity preview. Click right here. And again, your Cengage MindTap might be slightly different, but it should be very similar. And oh my God, how do I do this? I can just take a random guess. The problem with taking random guesses, A, you don't really learn, and it's very time inefficient. I mean, I know that, you can go through here and just take guesses and guesses. I know this. Check my work. Well, it says I'm an idiot. This one's wrong. This one's wrong. This one's wrong. This one's right. So then I have to guess. It's just not the most efficient method. I can definitely get the data. So right here's the data. Let me grab that. Open up Excel. Sorry, again, it's so small. So here's the Excel. Okay. And so on here, I can do this. I think I have sound turned off, so you won't hear it. But it will walk you through how to do this. Checking sports. So I select both of these, and then I go under the insert ribbon, and literally you just follow it, okay? And then it says, hey, do this. And so right there is, the correct answer, and it tells you how to add things. Now, you should know that, like I said, I want you to look at these numbers. 26 for checking sports, 43% for checking the news. Because these are randomized per student. So that's why if a friend of yours sends you an Excel workbook from this class, or you download a test bank, it doesn't matter, because they're completely random. So next semester, if I record this video, these numbers will be completely random for me. Every student in the class, so for, any student named John, maybe it will be, 28%. If I type 28%. And then it might be 54%. So the numbers change. And since the numbers change, guess what? These results change. So MindTap calculates this all out independently. So, sharing Excel workbooks, doing things like that doesn't help. You have to learn how to do the work. So now let's just take a step back. So those videos, those will get you on like 99% of the time. There's only like 2 modules or 2 assignments where they don't help. Okay, only about 2. So now, if I could click here on modules, and I can scroll down here, I can go. I'm just looking at week 3, so I can look at the overview. It kind of tells me, and I try to be as accurate as possible, what's due. Remember, week 3 is the busiest week. That's why I wanted to include this. Okay, so activities are things you have to do, but that's kind of hard to understand. Here's the exploring activity. Start assignment now. Okay, so these are like multi-choice questions. Okay, and a lot of times I'll have the textbook or some reading above it. But still, it's kind of, things aren't always in order. Okay, So that is what I'm, it's kind of weird. See, here's check your knowledge, assignment. So generally what I do, or what I try to do anyways, is I try to click on this very first link and launch MindTap. And then I can go over here to this and just start going to where week 3 is. So I think it's week 3. And there we go. Now it gets me in a little better organization. So here's that Learn It video I was talking about, which is like literally just a talking head about, hey, this is how we're learning. This is kind of what I'm going to be covering. Okay. So this is literally directly from the book. And then the check your knowledge is kind of what we just saw. Start assignment now. And so this is a little bit better organized. You hit X right here to go back to that week 3. And then see here, counts towards grade. These are what's important. Counts towards grade. Count towards grade. Okay, so I'm going to click right here. This is what we were working on just a second ago, the bar chart. So there we go. Again, as long as things done by Sunday at 10 p.m., you're good. You can do things unlimited amount of times. Now, like I said, I guess you can just sit there and try it again and again and again, but that is not the most efficient system. I mean, you have what, 4 choices here, 4 choices here, 4 choices here, 5 choices. It's a very inefficient system. So I would suggest just try to work through the problems. It's generally quicker. This assignment would probably take 4 or 5 minutes. I mean, the video is not even really that long. The video is 3 minutes. And probably the first 30 seconds wasteful and the last 30 seconds wasteful. But it tells you how to do it in 3 minutes. So maybe 2 minutes you can figure out the assignment and get all the answers right. And then just hit next once you get the grades right. Okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully that helps. I know MindTap's kind of weird, but it does have tutorials on how to do everything. Every video, every project, every assignment has videos that will help you. Use them.